Have you ever stopped to think about how some dishes are just so much more than food? I mean, they're stories, they're traditions, they're literally a piece of history on a plate. Today, we're going to explore exactly that, the incredible taste of history.
We've all felt that connection, right? That one taste that just takes you right back to your childhood, maybe to your grandparents' house or a special celebration. But where does that magic really come from? Why can a simple dish feel just like a warm hug?
Well, in this quick guide, we're going to unlock those secrets. We'll see how history, culture, and the techniques of our ancestors all weave together to give food that special power, the power to connect our own personal stories with the story of an entire community.
Okay, let's dive right in. Our first big concept is traditional gastronomy. Think of this as the what in our story. What are the dishes that truly define a culture?
So the formal definition tells us it's the collection of dishes, drinks, and ingredients that shape a community's culinary identity over time. It's essentially the official menu of a culture.
But to make that a little easier to grasp, let's use an analogy. Think of traditional gastronomy as a family photo album. Every single recipe in that album is like a photograph. A photo that doesn't just capture a moment, but tells the whole story of who was there, what they were celebrating, and what mattered to them. And this illustrates it perfectly. A mole, for example, isn't just some complex sauce. No way. It's the picture of a wedding, a baptism, a huge town festival. It's the taste of community celebration, preserved in a recipe.
Now that we understand the what, let's move on to the why. Why are these dishes so important? This is where our second concept comes in, intangible cultural heritage.
Now, this one's a little more abstract. It refers to the traditions and knowledge we inherit. The crucial point here is that it's not something you can touch like a pyramid, but something that you live and experience.
To wrap our heads around it, let's imagine it's like a language, a kind of secret code that everyone in the community just understands, without ever needing to say a word. This culinary language gets passed down from grandparents to parents and from parents to kids. Each dish is a sentence that says, "We belong, we remember, we celebrate together." It connects us on a really deep level.
And what we see here is absolutely key. This heritage doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's lived in a community. It's shared at events, just like this one. It's in that act of sharing that the culture is kept alive and vibrant.
All right, so we've got the what and the why. Now, all we need is the how. How is it possible to preserve these flavors across centuries? The answer lies in ancestral culinary techniques. The definition is pretty clear. These are the methods and skills, often done by hand, that have been perfected over generations to create those dishes with a flavor that's both authentic and totally unique.
The best analogy for this is to think about a master craftsman's toolbox.
Inside that toolbox, every technique is a unique, specialized tool. You wouldn't use a hammer to cut wood, right? In the same way, you just can't achieve that perfect texture without using the correct technique.
Let's look at a practical example, the technique of shaping dough by hand. Look at those hands in motion. That skill, that exact pressure and speed is a tool that guarantees the perfect texture in a way no machine could ever replicate.
And now let's look at another key tool, the kamal, or griddle. Cooking directly on it is another one of those ancient techniques. The way it distributes the heat, that subtle, smoky flavor it gives the dough, it's an indispensable tool for achieving that authentic taste.
Perfect. We've covered a lot of ground. So, to make sure everything is crystal clear, let's do a quick summary of the key points we've learned today.
So, here's the bottom line. First, traditional gastronomy is the dishes themselves. That's the what. Second, cultural heritage is the meaning behind them, the why they're important. And third, ancestral techniques are the specific skills to create them, the how they're made. See how it all connects?
And that brings us to the end. The next time you taste a dish that feels like home, remember that you're not just eating, you're savoring a photo album, speaking an ancient language, and using tools from centuries ago. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. What flavors connect you to your roots?